Hello, good afternoon, everybody.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So I'm greeting everybody in the world. Kumo Africa is live on the African Portal Radio TV, Pretoria, South Africa. I welcome you all throughout Africa. I say Saubonani, like Zulu guy in South Africa. I say Abarisa Muchana in Uganda. I greet everybody in northern part of Africa. I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In Nigeria, I also say Ekaso. Also, in another part of the country, they are in the morning. Some parts, they are in the evening. Some parts, they are in the afternoon. I greet you with the befitted greetings to every part of the world. I greet you, good afternoon. I remain yours, Kumo Africa, on the African Portal Radio TV, South Africa. Today, as we always do our weekly program, we are bringing the voices of the Africans into the limelight. As we know that in this time of ours, youth need to be enlightened about what is going on in Africa. Also, we know that unity is paramount in Africa at this moment. We need to be together. We need to be united as one nation, as one continent in the world. Africa remains the global target of economy in the world. That is why we need to be united. That is the purpose of the African Portal Radio South Africa, to unite all the Africa, both at home and in the diaspora. That is why we bring every Africa individual into the limelight on the African Portal Radio TV to showcase the potentiality of Africans in the world. Either you are in Africa as a continent, or you are in Caribbean, or you are in Pacific, or you are in America, or you are in British or Brazil, or any part of the world you are, as a black man, we recognize you. We say good afternoon to you. We say good morning. We say good evening to you. On behalf of the African Portal Radio, we also welcome our guests for today. As we know, we will be discussing the very important issue in Africa. As we rightly said on our platform, on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, that the topic that we are going to be trashing today is based on the impact of private schools in Africa. So we don't have any other person that can do justice to this rather than our able doctor, that is in person of our doctor, who is a doctor also a fellow Chartered Institute of Management, especially Dr. FCIMS USA, also a fellow African Institute of Strategic Managers, FAISM, VISM, Ghana, also a member of Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, MNIPR, Nigeria, in person of no other person than our able doctor, a prestigious doctor from Nigeria, Dr. Saheed Ayoade Adejinmi, also the CEO Edu-Links International Concept and the proprietor of Isheklo Schools, Monia, Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. I say good afternoon, Dr. Saheed Ayoade Adejinmi.
Good afternoon, the whole African. I greet you all from different parts of the world. I welcome you to this program. Thank you so much for having me on board.
Yeah, thank you. You're highly welcome to the African Portal Radio TV, South Africa. This is those who are joining us now. I mean, those who are watching us, the viewers, the listeners, you should just go to our Facebook page, like the page, share the page, then you watch us live. Now, also on our Facebook, on our YouTube page, you search for the African Portal Media House on YouTube, then you subscribe to that on YouTube page. Also on Facebook, you just search for the African Portal Radio TV International. You will see us there, like the page, watch our programs, and you join us live on the African Portal Radio. Welcome once again as I present a program, a very interesting program that comes up on the African Portal Radio, whereby we engage people, we engage our brothers, African brothers, and our African sisters from all over the world, not only in Nigeria, not only in South Africa, but outside the country. We have our black brothers in USA, our black brother in Britain, our black brother in Trinidad and Tobago, and many parts of the world. So we engage them on the issue facing Africa and the way out. As we are engaging our doctor today, as I've rightly said, our doctor is an educationist, our doctor is a lawyer, our doctor is an entrepreneur. So if I will summarize everything, he's an educationist, he's a lawyer, he's an entrepreneur, and he's a manager. So if a person has school, we call such a person a manager. So because you can't have a school and you don't call yourself a manager. So Dr. Saheed Ayoade Adejinmi is a manager, is a CEO of Edu-Links International Concept, Nigeria. Now we go to the point, the issue, the matter of today. As we all know that in the world, in Africa, we have public schools, likewise we have private schools. Private school is being established by private individual or private organization. As we all know, Nigeria has a case study because our guest speaker for today is from Nigeria. So when we are talking about, we will be making reference to other countries in Africa, but to be as an educationist and as a researcher, we'll be focusing on Nigeria as a case study. That is impact of private school in Africa, Nigeria as a case study. So I will just ask, because I may not be saying the way the guest speaker wishes to say about himself. I may not even know much about the guest speaker. Maybe I should go forward and say, my speaker, I welcome you, and I ask you another question, which says, who is Dr. Saheed Ayoade Adejinmi?
Thank you so much, my presenter, the anchor of the program. Once again, I greet every one of us from different part of the world for wonderful program we are having this afternoon. Actually, I need to appreciate the organizer of this program. And two, the question thrown to me, is a very simple question. I'm a very simple man. As you have mentioned my name is Saheed Ayoade Adejinmi, and I grew up in Yoruba land, the western part of Nigeria. So Nigeria belongs to West Africa continent in Africa. So meaning that we grew up from the rural environment. Uh, by the grace of Almighty God, I went to primary school. So I went to the secondary school. I later proceeded to the university. And right from there, I started proceeding to the level of participating and studying in a professional manner, which of course I believe that the academic aspect, which majority of Africans and even throughout the world we believe, that's the only means of getting to where you want to get to. So I a little bit defated to professionalism. So particularly on the management, and from there, you could see all my profile in my presenter just mentioned. So I make sure I pass through that professionalism. So to that extent of the being the doctoral fellow. Then about 13 years ago, I started my primary schools, and later, about after 4 years, I started secondary school. And the consultancy firm, which is a Edu-Links international concept, it is a very broad institutions or establishments that majorly on education, on printing and publishing, communications. You can see in my profiles, I chartered in public relations. So from there, I try to divert a bit to communication and management together with education. And if you ask me what is my major area, I do tell people I base my research, my activities, my program on education, communication, and management. So to God be the glory, I married and I'm blessed with children. So today I'm CEO of the Edu-Links International Concept. I'm also the proprietor of Iseglos schools in Maniya and Ibadan, Nigeria. So meaning that I've been in the system of education for the past 20 years. So which of course I've trained people in terms of the primary education, in terms of the secondary education, which is high school in some part of the world. So in terms of our institutions, the post-secondary school level, and I'm into training of the teachers. I believe that when any nation that teaches, we have the quality teachers, we have the competent teacher and qualified teachers, the educational standard will improve. So that's the reason I decided to engage in training teachers in different parts of the Nigeria. So I've been let me say, the professionals in aspect of teachers training. So, and I've been engaging in training the school owners too. Believe that with my experience and my research and the other things I know, the knowledge I have is that I try to combine all these things together to engage people and to train the school owners and show them the ways of running the school, and which will giving us the productive as productive education in our system. You know, this is a 21st century. We need to engage our people to aware of what it calls 21st century, then how to apply. And I can tell you, it is major areas I base my research on now, and I do. I'm an advocate. Let me just put it in this way: I'm an advocate of the incorporation of 21st century education in our system, so that we be able to compete with any of our colleagues in from different part of the world. From any part of the world, we're able to compete. So our students, we tailor their orientation to that extent, or we train our teachers in that areas, and we train others, our colleagues in this firm. Not only that, I'm engaged in the training people on the ICT to my best of knowledge. I train people on the vocational training. So in Nigeria, I'm one of the advocates of the engaging our students in vocational education. So on the vocational education, I advocate it, and I have an established part of the department of our Edu-Links international concept, whereby we engage the youths in what we call vocational education. So, you know, vocational education has to do with the skill acquisition. whereby our students, we encourage them to have skills that will make them productive. If you can imagine, I mean, just look at what's happening from other parts of the world, particularly Asia countries. And one of the major things that the part of education they engage in, it is the psychomotor aspect of education, which is the skill acquisition. Yeah, that is what majorly make them to improve. And in addition with the development of a technology, they merge all the two together to develop themselves. So, and from there, today they are competing with the Americans and or European countries. Seriously, you can see what the China is performing serious in the aspect of technology, the aspect of vocational education now. So that is the motive of engaging our people, our youth in the vocational trainings, even in the schools. I advocate that the schools should also incorporate vocational education. Though the Nigerian government they have been engaging and encourage the schools, encouraging the youths to find them or to put themselves and enroll to all these apprentice works. But I believe the government cannot do it, but they cannot do it alone. So definitely with the private enterprises, private individual, the individual, so do need to participate and also support the government and to make the program successful. But we can see if we look at the what is happening in the world now, you can see most of the best university in the whole world, the best university in the world, I repeat, is a private institution. It's a private university. The MIT, for example, is the best university in the whole world in America now. Even the whole world, and it's in the USA. You can see as a private institution, it's a institution that is set up with a certain motive, which the proprietor of that particular institution will be running from pillar to post to succeed and to realize the goal, all the goal setting, the objectives, and the visions and the mission of the that the proprietor of that or the owner of that institution set, they will always run after it. So by then, they will always improve themselves. Unlike the public institution whereby it's periodical most of the time. Actually, government is supposed to be continuation. But in our own part of the world here, we believe that I want my name to shine. When we get to the power, we don't after all of the continuity of what somebody have done. We only after all of what people will say about me. We don't look at what will be the benefit of our people alone. So let alone the governments of the Africans, in most of the Africans in the country, and African countries, you discover that they after of what people say about them, about their personal name, not about the what we should do and what we should have and what we achieve. It should be the collaborative effort, not individual. No, a single person cannot achieve it alone. It's supposed to be a collaborative. It's supposed to be something that everybody will participate. There's either individual, either the government, either any corporate organization. We have to join hands together to achieve our aim. Africa must develop. Africa must not be a dumping ground of remnants of all these things from Europe or from America. We have the best system of anything we can talk about. Talking about the system of government, before the advent of the colonial masters, if all of us can flashback, we discover we have a very, very standard and moderate system of government. Imagine their system, the way we adopt the systems, the foreign system to our system, we started behaving in a strange manner. To the extent, some of us, we are living with a colonial mentality, whereby we don't believe we can discharge the best. We can't discharge them without consulting the Europeans, without consulting the Americans. I must tell us this afternoon, Africans, we have the best. We have what we can discharge to the whole world. That people will see that Africans they are epitome of emulation. See, we are not just the continent that the Europeans or the America will be calling us a black monkey. You know, I'm a student of political science, so I must tell you that the orientations that we have in Africa, we have to change it. Thank God we are seeing Africans, like most of us now in abroad, now that we are performing excellently. So most of Africans, if you see what's happening in America today, go and look at their medical aspect, you will see the black person are leading that area. Go to the ICT, you will see the black people there that are leading that team. Go to any aspect you want to mention, education aspect, you will see the African leading. Go to any aspect in any part of the world, they are performing more than expectation of Europeans. But here in Africa, we don't follow what we have. We have a lot of legacy we can follow. Our forefathers have done their part. We youth of nowadays too, we need to follow ourselves. That is, these are the things I try to look into and combine together to establish my school. That in my school, I want to be training the youth that will be distinct leaders of tomorrow in any part, in any profession. Talking about any profession in the world, you will find my student there. That is my target. That I want my student to rule the world with their knowledge, their functional knowledge, not the knowledge of just worshiping certificates. You know, in different parts of the world, we believe in certificates. And I must tell you, the 21st century the 21st century educational system does not encourage certificate alone. You must be skillful. In most of the international organizations, international companies, multinational organizations, they don't have thought of your certificate again. Either you will have PhD, you have the masters, you have whatever. They want you have to interact with the machine. What your interaction with the machine will determine what they do. So when you can interact with machine, if they don't want to know, maybe you have anything you want to have. And I do tell people that it's not about certificate, it's about what do you have. What can you give to your generation? What can you do to your generation to transform the generation? That is what we should after. In most of my presentations in trainings of the youths, talking about the skill acquisition, talking about the educational aspect of the training of the teacher, the school owners, what I usually say is that we should move out from our comfort zone, that we should not limit ourselves to our environment. We have to move out. Technology has done a lot. It has done a lot of things for us. I mean, in terms of the making things easier for us compared to what the traditional method of running the system of educational system, so to say. So it has made it easy without leaving your home. In this century, you can get your PhD without you leaving your home. I hope all of us we are aware of this. So once you know that, definitely we need to explore this opportunity. It's a great opportunity for this generation, for having this kind of opportunity to expose ourselves. Now, we have been training our students to achieve all this. When you look at the richest men in the world, majority of them they are not rating according to their certificate. They are rating according to what they invented, what they are putting to their generation, the changes they are bringing to the society, what they are doing, the special and different thing they are putting in across to everybody, and they are providing solutions. They are looking for the problem of the people and they provide solution. And this solution is what people are paying for, that making them rich every day. Biggest of our time now is the man that is providing solution in the ICT aspect. Look at what Amazon is doing. It's also providing solution to the marketing and how do we shopping and other things aspect. They are making it easier that you can buy anything right from your home. Without leaving your home, you can buy anything from any part of the world. These are the things we need. These are the important things we need to incorporate in our educational system, which of course we need to understand. And this is my motive. This is my target. This is what triggered me to establish the primary school and secondary school, likewise the training institutes that I'm running, which I thank God we have been achieving a lot of things right from the day we established until today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for elaborated explanation on all those things you have been talking about. So you have covered a lot, that I will have asked you many questions related to that, but fortunately, you have covered. So I'll just ask you, you have explained that. So what inspired you to establish a private institution? I mean, I'm talking about private schools, your
Yes.
ETC, education, Edu-Links, training centers, and other things. Now, my issue is that what is another question I will just try to pose to you is that do we have any challenge, or do you have any challenge during the establishment of all these things? I mean, the Edu-Links, the Isheglos, then the Edu-Link International Concept. Do
Thanks
you
so
have
much.
any challenge? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. I think I have said something about that. That
Yeah.
Nigeria, our mindset, the Africans, our mindset, is something that weighing us down. Our mindset is what is weighing us down. It's not about the resources. We have little resources. We have many resources that in our disposal we can use to achieve, but to some extent, there's not enough resources. The capital aspect of it in some part of the world, but not mind you, I must tell you, despite of limited resources to establish, I achieve a lot through of determine that I want to do. And the slogan I can, it is a very serious something that everybody, if you can uphold that
Mm,
statement that I can, if you believe yourself, there's nothing you cannot achieve. Some of the
mm,
psychologists believe that anything you can conceive, it is achievable. Anything you
mm,
think, always it is easy for it is possible that you are going to achieve it. It will come to your way. So to answer your question in a very straight way, I have been exposing to a lot of things, and I've been expressing a lot of things. In fact, right from the beginning, if I tell you, I must, but let me ask the people on my side used to say, let me press your mind that I did not gather 10,000 naira in Nigeria to establish the school. That would be wonderful to you. I didn't
mm,
gather just common 10,000 naira to establish the school, because
mm,
when there's a will, there's a way. Once you have
mm,
the will, there's a way. I came
mm,
from the rough background. I came from the background that you cannot trace any international things from. Let it, we talk about anything educational. My father is not literate. My mother is not literate. So you imagine for a person that coming up from that background to determine to establish a school or to establish an establishment and like Edu-Links I established. So what I did is this: I started uh, drawing my plan. I was drawing my plan right from my secondary school days. I started writing what I wish to be, what I determine. I started putting it down. I put all my ideas down. By then, so I was just saying, I just believe that one day I will achieve it.
mm,
And to God be the glory. It is even my motive that by God's grace, I want to become an international man on my profession. I want to
mm,
become a renowned person in my field. I want to become a successful person in my field. So from there, I started. I started with the just home lesson. So from home lesson, I moved to working with the people that have established the schools, some schools that were
mm,
operating then. So, which of course my friend can testify to. So I started from there, from one primary private schools, and from there, from one school to another school, I was gathering the schools and while gathering ideas. I did not even after of the money they were giving me, because the stipends they were giving me was not, I was not using it to discourage myself. I didn't allow it to discourage me. Despite my colleagues were collecting huge amount of money in other corporations, in other industries or companies, but I determined that I want to be in this education sector. I want to be there and I want to succeed there. So I was gathering experience. So for me, I determined I want to do something, a particular thing. So what I was facing then Despite a lot of challenges from the aspect of the owners of the school, from the aspect of the colleagues, aspect of the students, I didn't allow any negative aspect to discourage me and to distract me from my target. So I was guarding it. Later, after some years, I decided to have my own school. And in Nigeria, in fact, if you are determined, there's nothing you cannot do in Nigeria, you are not supposed to succeed. And Nigerian is an environment that is fit for any business to survive. I must tell the whole world today. Nigeria is a country that in fact, allow innovations. In fact, Nigeria is a country that promotes ideas. How? It may not be directly from the government. Government may not promote it directly, but indirectly they allow us, they give us opportunity. We have freedom to establish anything you believe in that is legitimate. Anything that is legitimate that you believe you can do. Nigeria government giving us opportunity. Nigeria constitution giving us that opportunity. So after you have established, you just need to do the needful. What is the needful? You need to register your school, you need to register your establishments. Once you register and you are following the rules and the regulations that establish your institution, you are good to go. So that is in Nigeria for you. And I'm using this opportunity to call all the international companies, all the international industry to come down to Nigeria. Nigeria is a favorite environment to establish. Don't mind of all these media rumors that Nigeria is not safe. I'm telling you, once you follow the normal thing, you have no problem. Though we have the security challenges, some part of the world, but it is an international issue. It is not only Nigeria. It's not only Nigeria we have challenges. It is international. I believe in South Africa, you are facing a lot of insecurity. You are facing in America, they have the same thing. So it is not something that we can say we narrow it to Nigeria, that it's only Nigeria we are having insecurity. So coming back to the base discussion, I must tell you, I started the school with not even starting with a student, with a puppy. And that day, my people were looking at me as a madman. They were looking at me as an insane, that somebody that doesn't know what he's doing. Some of my friends were saying that, this man, do you know what you are doing? You said you established school. There's no children there, no student there, no pupils there. I said they will come. I told my friends they will come. Once I believe this is my way. This is what I want to do. After some weeks, my people, some people started enrolling their children to my school. Those people, that's the reason anywhere you work, you have to lay legacy. You have to build up a very standard legacy. In fact, the legacy that people will be using to rate you anywhere you find if they meet you, anywhere you find yourself. The legacy I've built in most of the school I worked, people believe in that legacy, believe in that quality. They were saying, is this so person that's up? They own this school. We believe in him. Let's put our child there. And that's how they have started putting their children to my school. And from there, by God's grace, the school is now developing every day. We are developing every day. Though we are yet to get to where we are aiming to, but we are still improving every day. We have the SS class. They are producing our children for WAHEC. So, by the grace of God, today the school we plan to establish it, we establish, and we are running it, and it's still existing. To God be the glory. So the major challenge is finance. The major challenge I face is finance, because I didn't be the beginning. I could get assistance, financial assistance for either from government, either from anybody. I believe my school will be the level of competing anywhere in the world now. But to God be the glory, I thank God for the level we have. But mind you, there was no support from anywhere. People were just saying, another challenge I faced, that people were mocking me. They were mocking me that I cannot succeed. It's not possible. You can't achieve it. And I was telling them, I will achieve it. By God's grace, I've achieved it today. So another challenge I faced is that some teachers were not believing in the school, small school. We started small then. And I must tell the youth in Africa that don't believe that until you get everything set, you start anything. You can start with small thing and you start growing it. You start growing it. I started small. In fact, from there, I make sure that I improve every week. I put new things in my system that improve my system every day, improve my establishment every day. And from there, we are growing almost every day. So from there, another challenge I have been facing is challenge of the government epileptic taxes. Government epileptic taxes. In fact, it's affecting most of the establishments in our country per se, which I believe is happening in other part of the African countries too. So in most of my research through my research and my collaboration with other people from different part of the world, even in America, taxes are affecting establishment there. So taxes is a serious issue. You know, we believe that it is necessary, it is compulsory for us to pay tax, but it must be is something minimal, bearable, that the establishment will be able to bear, that will not kill the system, that will not kill the company, that will not kill the school, that will not kill the establishment. Okay, when you have idea and nobody is supporting you, and government could not give you grant, could not support you with anything, the only thing they gave us that you are free to establish anything you want to, you believe. So once they are giving that, once you are not getting this, they must create atmosphere. I mean, the policy, government policies that will encourage us to continue putting more effort to develop ourselves. Because I must tell you, in Nigeria here, we have a lot of challenges in aspect of the starving. In a starving system, I'm telling you, you just believe that an NC holder, a graduate of a trained teacher in the colleges of education in Nigeria that meant for training of the teachers, you discover that after they have through, some of them, they believe in just going to menial jobs where they get huge amount of money because they believe the salary they are collecting from education is too small, is minimal compared to the business they want to engage their own at any menial job, the casual work they can just engage themselves in. So they want quick money, they want to get there, they want to achieve. So with this, it's now giving us a lot of challenges of getting the competent and qualified teachers. And even most of the qualified teachers, when they work with you for some times, but the moment there's opportunity in another place, they won't tell you they will leave. They just leave without notice. So at the end of the day, you discover the school will become, just be facing serious problem because to fill that gap, it is another challenge. So that is a staffing problem. Another challenge we are encountering in the aspect of the school running, the private school running, it is aspect of the money we charge the parents to pay. Most of the parents do put the payment of the school fees to the last priority, particularly grown-up schools. Grown-up schools in this Africa, particularly in Nigeria, we are encountering serious challenges from the parents. Most of the parents, they are not paying at the right time. They are not paying as at when due, so that it will allow the owners to use that money to pump it back to the system, so that the system will grow. They don't pay at the right time, and in most of the schools, you discover that they use just 2-3 years. At the end of the day, they could not. The school owner may not be able to run it again because of the lack of the money. So the payment of the school fees at the right time or not paying at the right time is another problem we are encountering in our educational sector, particularly in the private schools. Another challenge we are still encountering is that parents of today, they want their child or their children to pass through the education. They want them to skip many classes. They don't want them to pass through the ladders we pass through, the stages we pass through, the grades we pass through. When we're young, when we're in primary school, our fathers, our mothers, they believe that we have to pass through all the levels, right from primary 1 to primary 6. We have to pass through all these levels. Most of the parents of today, majority of them, they want their children to skip 2 or 3 classes and get to the colleges, get to the secondary schools, high schools. By the time they get to the primary 3, they want them to skip primary 4 and 5. Or if the system is, we are using basics in Nigeria now, basic educational system. The system of education we are using in Nigeria is 934 educational system. We are not using 6334 again. The system of education in Nigeria system, Nigeria governments are using is 934, meaning basic education 9 years, 3 years is for the high school, which is senior school, senior secondary school. So SS1 to SS3. So the 4 is the higher institution. I hope you are with me. So with that, Nigeria is operating basic education for 9 years, and the senior education, which is high school, and the SS1 to 3, that is for 3 years, and that of the university 4 years. Now, government, I mean the parents, they are now after that 9 years, they want to turn into 7 or 6 years. They want they want to fast track the system. They want their children of age 7 to pass through all this level. With 9 years, they want their children to graduate at the age of 8 years, which before, at least at the age of 9, at the age of 10, 11, 12, it was standard for us. Even then, before you can enroll your child to primary school, most of the public school, your children must get to 6 years then. But now, you know, in the private schools, most of the children started from the creche. And then that creche, this is a preschool. And from that preschool, you see age before 1 year, starting school. And from there, they want their children to even skip that nursery level, the kindergarten level, and move to the primary, the basic level, basic one. For all this, they are the very serious challenges. That's the reason most of the graduates of today's, they are unemployed. Why? Because they are not productive. They are not productive. They are unemployable. They are unemployable because most of the graduates cannot even, some of them cannot speak the simple and correct English because they lack the normal thing they need to pass through. They have skipped a lot of things. So because they want, the parents want quick things. See, they want quick. Majority of them will be telling you, we are in jet age. We are in jet age. Everything must be fast. I don't know. Where are we rushing to? Where are we rushing to?
Doctor, before you go on, maybe I
Yes,
ask
sir.
this question. You know, there are some parents. Let me just come down to the educational policy in Nigeria. You know, there are individual differences among the students. I mean, among the pupils in primary school.
Correct.
I'm talking about basic. So,
correct.
Are we saying that the issue of intelligence, are we not considering it again in primary school? I mean, you know, when you are talking about skipping of the classes, you know, some parents will say, is it the parent that will decide or what that, okay, my kid is good, is performing, is intelligent, it should not be, or he or she should not be in basic 1, she should be in basic 2. You know, if you could remember, according to, we are both educationists, the issue of, intelligent IQ of each pupils in the class, each learner in the class. So do we still have that situation whereby a sound student in the class can be moved from basic 2 to basic 4, maybe due to his or her performance in class? What do you see to that?
Well, actually, I must tell you that I'm a part of advocate of Operation Being Back Our Premises. I'm supporting that idea. There are a lot of activists, educational activists, that have started that propagation of saying Operation Bring Back Our Premises. It is not good idea of skipping the classes. It's not even good at all. It's affecting the learner. There's no way the learner will escape of not affecting them. The learners will encounter that challenge when they get to the university, because maturity is very important in education. Maturity must be part of what we used to read. We are talking about intelligence. You know, we have 3 domains in education. We have the psychomotor, which
Yeah.
is people don't even
Effective.
reckon to. How we have the affective
Okay.
domain, we have the cognitive domain. From our own part here, we only recognize the cognitive. Most of us we
Hmm.
after the cognitives. And when you say you're after the cognitive, we're only talking about the mental activities, mental knowledge. So we are not talking about the moral aspect of it, the behavioral aspect of it. We are not talking about the skill again. So the performance and intelligence of the child, we don't even talk about. Some of the parents, they don't care about that. What they're after is just that my child is in school. I want the child to just graduate at social age. They are the one at determining where the child should graduate, not the school, and following the school policy or government policy. Nigerian educational policy is a standard educational policy. Though there are some aspects of the educational and policy, Nigerian educational policy, that we in the private schools we are telling the government to even to change some things there in order to match the 21st century. Because
Okay.
though the government used to review the educational policy almost at least 3 years, so in Nigeria's educational system, but notwithstanding, you still have some that on paper that are not implementing. Majority of the policies are only on paper, so we have not been implementing. There must be a policy in House of Assembly where people will sponsor that bill to the House, that there must be punishment for a parent that fight for the skipping of the class. There must be policy that will backing us, so that nobody should fight for skipping of the class. And the school that make the child to skip the class, there must be punishment for that school. Even
Okay.
for the parents that are agitating for that, there should be policy
Oh,
for that in the aspect of the government. Even the
okay.
parent too, which I must tell them that you don't need to rush when you allow them to pass through normal ladder. And I discover through my research, some of them usually do this because of the money. They don't want their children to pay for the next class. So they want them to move to the class so that they will skip that class. So in order to achieve their aims and objectives. So it's not
Hmm.
partying with they don't care about their intelligence. They don't care about what their capability, their ability, the outcome of their own personal interest. So which you should not be interfere in the learning system of our children. So thank you.
So before you go on that, so I'm still insisting there is a point I want you to clear. The issue of, we categorize learners into different aspects. We have one of our commentators, that person say, yeah, I'm sure the speaker makes some of the factors that do affect private schools, but not
Yeah.
all of these applicable to some other African countries. That one is from Olaibi Yahu. He said, so we have Alimat Olanike Wolabi. He's also saying, well done, Kuma Africa, and our assistant teacher and guest.
Thank you.
Also, the other thing I want you to emphasize to clear is that look at the issue of different kinds of learners in the class. We have
Okay.
slow learners, we have
Yeah.
those intelligent, potent
Now
learner.
average
So with
average one.
high IQ, average one, we have the IQ learner. So if
Yeah.
you could remember very well, there are some certain, I mean, the IQ learner, we call some gifted children. We have gifted
Gifted.
children.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
could
you're right.
remember in those days where we were in private schools, where we would do exam for gifted children. If
Yes.
you could remember very well that in
Yes,
Abuja
actually.
today,
Yes.
we have a gifted school in Abuja at Suleja. So
Yes,
there is a
correct.
reason for government to establish that school in Abuja.
Yeah.
It's for the gifted school.
Yes.
Not all learners are being put into that
It's
place,
not for
but
everybody. Yeah.
it's just exceptional learners are being sent to
Yeah.
that school. So my question
Yes.
is, what of in a situation whereby in your class you have
Yeah.
exceptional students like that? I mean those gifted
Yes.
kids in that class.
Yeah.
For example,
Yeah.
what I mean by gifted school is gift, because of those who are watching us live. Gifted
Yeah.
kid is the characteristics of gifted kid is, for example, teacher gives them 5 exercises to do in the class.
Okay.
Others are still battling with 2 or 3
Two or three. Yeah.
questions.
Yes.
But this gifted child has finished all the 5.
Yes.
Then
That's
he's waiting in the class, disturbing other students in the class, and finished.
yes.
So
Yes.
I'm expecting more from my teacher. So he's
Exactly.
battling. So my question is this: that kind of gifted child,
Yeah.
do we still agree to make that kid still stay in
Yeah.
that class?
Yeah.
What I mean is that when you're talking about
How do we
skipping the
manage
class,
them together?
how do we manage? Yeah, that's number one. Two, is it encouraged to just make them to cover syllabus and move to another next class? Because if you notice, those who are in Zuleja, they do most of the things for them. I've met most of some that they are in university.
Yes.
Most of the universities in Nigeria and outside Nigeria that they are gifted, they don't study a course. They study many courses, and they don't
Yes.
spend like regular students that they spend 4 years. No, maybe in
Yes.
2 years they can even finish like 2, 3 courses in different
Yes.
faculties. Do you
Yes.
think that
Correct.
do you think is it encouraged or is it advisable for a school to just give such kind of learners? I mean, from
Uh,
maybe he's in basic 2, then okay, let's put him in basic 3 or basic 4. What is your own
hmm.
opinion?
Well, my opinion to that aspect is that as a trained teacher, it is aware to me that we have different individual differences in our classroom. So it is part of the course a trained teacher must pass through in the colleges of education or in the university. So which is
Yeah.
compulsory, we have to pass through. Meaning that you should know how to manage the extrovert, introvert, and other the gifted and all these special students in your class or the pupils in your classroom. Teachers must know that the class is not meant for particularly the general class, the school whereby we combine every aspect, every student, every pupils, every learners. You know, in most of the African schools, is not easy for them to separate the gifted and separate the average and separate the lower performance. But before I go to that areas, I must tell us most of the dollars that we call dollar, most of them usually useful in businesses. They usually
Mm,
succeed in businesses in the future. So I don't condemn any students in my school. In for anywhere, I do encourage people that don't condemn any student, don't condemn any learner. If they cannot perform in cognitive aspect, they will perform in the psychomotor. So
mm,
we need to study the talent, the gift of each child to determine what we should tailor them to. In some part of the world, right from the basic level, they starting determine the time area they will fit in the future. They train them in that line, in that area. So they don't even disturb them of teaching them everything as we do in most of the Africans, in African countries. So the meaning is that you don't need to be to only overrate those who are gifted and downgrade or you don't even care about those in the average students. You don't care about the dollar again. So majority of our parents, even some teachers too, they believe that when the students is performing, they only focus on them. They start hating. They be hating them. They neglect and make jest of the average and the below average students, which is not good in the system. You need to encourage them. You need to motivate them with your system. Your presentation, your lesson plan must capture the gifted, must capture the average student, must capture the below average. And that is the technicality of teaching. Teaching methodology, you must know the appropriate teaching methodology you need to apply in such a class. And mind you, your lesson notes need to capture the will of handling the extrovert. Extrovert will like to talk most of the time. Before you stop your question, the extrovert will raise the hand. And by the time they raise their hand, you say, my mistress, I know, mistress, I know, mistress, I know. At the end of the day, you discover that they may not answer what you asked them to answer. Even sometimes they may even not give you the accurate answer, but their eagerness, their the agility to respond quickly, the stimulus in them that always push them to respond to the particular thing. It is what usually pushes them to raise their hand. And a teacher must know how to manage such a student or manage any student that fall to that category. In so fact, there's no way you shout. They may not talk. They may not care. They may not even answer you. But leave them. Let them battle the question by themselves. At the end of the day, you see they perform excellently and they do what you ask them to do. The slow learners, you need to recognize them in your classroom. The average learner that you need to repeat about 2 or 3 times before they capture, and those that we have another set of students that are gifted. Don't drop it. If you don't drop the lesson, they will not. It's not that. And what I mean is that as you are dropping it, they are getting it. As you are delivering, they are getting it. So meaning that you need to how to manage them. Once they answer the question, you may not tell them they have gotten the question. You may just pending telling them the final answer. You give the room for others to answer, to participate in the class. And the 21st century encourage children's center, the learner center, not the teacher center again. It should be learner center. The teacher must be facilitators, not Mr. Everything. Not that you do everything in your classroom. You have to encourage them. You need to go around. You need to persuade. Just coordinate. You are only coordinator in that classroom. It was olden day belief in the education sector. They believe that the brain of children was tabula rasa. That is the plain sheet. No, according to one educational philosopher. But in this century we have, the majority of the philosopher education believe that no, God has packaged a lot of knowledge in them. We just need to just wake it up. We need to encourage them, motivate it, just to make sure that we tap that thing packed in them, the package in them, natural gift in them, the talent they have, the instinct they have. We just need to tap it and encourage them to develop. So that is the major thing. So it's not about that we neglect one and we starting training others. No, we need all of them.
All right. So as you were talking, I saw a message coming up. So I saw a message coming up from one of our viewers. So I was talking about. So let me just summarize because of the time. It's also showing on our screen now. So he was talking about the manager. He said we shouldn't look at the challenges inside of the government and the parents alone. Then what of many of the so-called private school owners who don't have a strategic mission and vision to be in business? So my question is this: everybody is just opening schools. This one is opening schools. This one is opening school because there is money in it. As an educationist, as an activist, as a manager, as a CEO of a company or an institution, what would be your advice to the school owners who are just, as a teacher, we call some people, as a slang we use in Nigeria, sometimes we say some people are teachers, while some teachers are cheaters. We have teachers.
Yes, it's a slogan. Yes. Yeah.
So it's a slogan that we have teachers, we have teachers. Now,
yes, correct.
To the school owners who don't even know more about who don't even know the two sides of establishing the school, what would be advice to those people? That is what the man was talking about. That we shouldn't be blaming the government and the parents out of the school owners who don't even know anything about the business.
Yes, thank you so much. It is not I'm blaming any stakeholder. I'm not blaming any stakeholder. I'm just telling the fact that we are encountering. Where I told you right from my introduction of myself, I said I'm advocate of training the school owners. I said it. I'm after of training the school owners, then exposing them to the reality that if you don't have capacity of running the school, it's not compulsory to be in the educational sector. It's not only school you can run to succeed in life. There are a lot of things you can do, a lot of businesses you can do to succeed. So that's the reason I'm calling upon my colleagues and others intending school owners. I mean, those people who are having planned to establish the school, that don't venture to the education sector when you don't have anything to discharge. If you don't have anything to give to this generation, we are not expecting you to be there. Education is a serious something, and I used to say in anywhere I present that if education is okay, and government can put education, put it in, I mean all the stakeholders, government, all the stakeholders, we are gathered together, we combine our efforts together to develop education and to have standard education in our countries. I'm telling you, all this insecurity will not be there again. All this corruption will not be there again. All the problem we are having in all of the parts of the world will not be there. It's because of the wrong education we are giving to our children. It's because of the wrong education they are receiving from the schools. It's because of wrong education they are receiving from our home. It's because of the wrong education they are receiving from our society. It's because of the wrong education we are packaging through the government policies. Now, mind you, the proprietors or the school owners that are established because of the money may not survive, may not live longer there in that business. Because at the end of the day, the parents will discover that the incompetency of that particular person, and they will remove their children from that school. So, and that's the reason the parent too should not look after of the building, should not have to look after the name of the school. You should not look at them because we have many people, they have money. They have arrived in a particular business. They are looking for another business to run. They just bring their money. They build the buildings, very gigantic buildings. At the end of the day, Martian one. At the end of the day, they don't have an idea of running the school. They don't have that idea. They don't know. They don't have knowledge of it. At the end of the day, when most of them usually call on we consultants that please come and consult for me. By the time you started giving them ideas, they don't follow it. They don't follow our ideas. And at the end of the day, we back out. And the school will only have in the building without the normal content. So the content is very important. We must always research and upgrading ourselves. Your personal development is very important. You need to invest on yourself as a proprietor of the school. You must invest on yourself. You must read. I'm telling you, I do tell my students, a reader is a leader. If you don't read, if you don't improve yourself, if you don't upgrade yourself, if you don't have vision, strategic vision, as my viewer said, that there should be strategic vision for you as a proprietor. If you don't have money today, believe me, by God's grace, you are going to have money tomorrow once you are following the normal trend. And I must tell you today that, and tell the whole world, I'm advocate of having a standard school and running the standard school. If you don't have enough money, your content must be okay. If your building is not big, let your content be okay. And to your best of knowledge, and always improve your content. Compare your content with others that have been in the system before you. Consult them, talk to them, consult the consultants, consult the experts from different parts of the world. In fact, the technology has given us the opportunity to consult anybody from different parts of the world. So I don't see the reason in a proprietor that could not even speak a standard English, you say, I want to run the school. We don't want such person there. We want the people that have the vision, that know what to give to the children. Now I know where I'm going to in the next 10 years. 10 years now, I know where I'm going to. I know what I want to achieve. So many of the schools, they don't have, as my viewer said. So I'm not blaming any stakeholders. I'm just saying we must have the standard. I'm not saying the person that's talking, I'm the best in everything, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying to give the best I know. I'm trying to discharge the best I believe in, and I'm improving myself every day. So the school owner too, we need to also comply with the rules of the government too, and we need to also do research how successful schools, private schools are running. We need to be doing that research. If you cannot start or doing everything now, start with somewhere. If you start somewhere, you get there somewhere. So you get there one day. So let's just make sure that we collaborate with the government, collaborate with the parents, and collaborate with other stakeholders in education to make all African better in education aspect. So once education is okay in Africa, believe me, Africa will be okay by God's grace.
All right, thank you. Before we go further, so we must have a little break whereby we listen to the advert you paid for. I mean, the company, maybe organization or
Thank you.
institution or your own company paid for. So we need to
Yes.
have a break. So
Thank you.
let's have that. All right. Edu-Links International Concept is a registered company in Nigeria that renders services on consulting, training, PR, research, and management for schools and business institutions. Also, Ishaglo Islamic Heritage Glorious School is a registered group of schools in Nigeria at Asamajana Falade area, Olozo Komania, Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. Also, Edu-Links Training Center is a subsidiary of Educational Links International Concept. You can reach them on this number 07030751347 or 08164031761. Worship with knowledge at home of wisdom, paradise of knowledge. Edu-Links International Concept is a registered company in Nigeria that renders services on consulting, training, PR, research, and management for schools and business institutions. Also, Ishaglo Islamic Heritage Glorious School is a registered group of schools in Nigeria at Asamajana Falade area, Olozo Komania, Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. Also, Edu-Links Training Center is a subsidiary of Educational Links International Concept. You can reach them on this number 07030751347 or 08164031761. Worship with knowledge at home of wisdom, paradise of knowledge. Welcome back. Welcome
Thank
back
you.
live on the African Portal Radio TV, South Africa. Kumo Africa is on live broadcast in Pretoria, South Africa. Also, I'm welcoming back our guest lecturer for today, Dr. Saheed Ayoade Adejinmi. We have been discussing the CEO of Edu-Links International Concept and the proprietor Asia Glow Schools, Monia, Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. So you're welcome back. So we have been discussing about the issue burdening our mind in Africa, especially that of private schools, the impact of private schools in Africa. Also, he has been telling us about the challenges facing the private schools in Nigeria as a case study. Also, the way out of this. Also, the impact of governments, what government should do concerning the private schools and the likes. My question, because we have run out of our time, but I will give you just maybe 1 minute to respond to this. How do you see the future of private schools in Nigeria?
Well, thank you. The future of the private school in Nigeria is bright, and I must tell you, once we are following the normal trend in the international community, whereby with a lot of challenges here and there on AI, the artificial intelligence now is not order of today. The robotic educations, we incorporate the robotic educations and some other aspect of education, which is a 21st century education, where all these soft skills and hard skills, your knowledge that we need to acquire. We need to incorporate all these in our system. The future of private school, because government alone cannot do, government cannot do it alone. I mean, so why the private individual too, we are assisting the government in terms of employment aspects. You know, when you look at the numbers of the staff or the employees you have in the private schools is something that's, in fact, is a great aspect that the government isn't need to be looking to. We are assisting the government in that area, in that aspect, whereby instead of in fact, creating another aspect of the unemployment in our society, and then the private school is closing that gap, closing that in their own trend. We are trying our best in that aspect. So the feature of the private school is something that is going to be great, by God grace,
Okay.
which
All right.
we have seen the sample in the world. Like those of what I mean, the Alpha University, you can see majority of them established in 16th century or something, or 1670 something. So imagine they are still succeeding today, improving today, and existing and performing excellently throughout the world. I hope in Africa too we can do better and we can do the best, even than Alpha University and others. So
As the CEO and the manager of Edu-Links, what do you think government should do to assist private schools?
now, thank you. I think the government have been doing their best in that aspect of
Plenty.
regulation. In
All
terms
right.
of regulations, they have been in the regulation aspect of it. They are regulating the standardity of education or running of the institutions in Nigeria. They are doing that, and they just need to improve. As I said, there should a lot of policy need to be put in place in the education sector to encourage the private sectors. Not They should not see the private sector as their enemy or as their rival. No, they should see us as a partners in progress. We are assisting the government too. Despite we are getting our means there. But notwithstanding, government, there's nothing bad in government creating a window in their economy's development that will be assisting the private sector. Despite of collecting the tax, most of the private schools in Nigeria, we don't get any grants from anywhere.
Mm.
So just of recent in the COVID-19, what do you call it, survival fund are given to some of the private institutions, but it was not circulated. The government tried their best in that area, but we still need more. Our all of our is asking for more. We want the government to put in place a policy that will encourage that when you establish a school, I think within 6 months, there should be support from the government that will encourage, and the government need to monitor such school, serious monitoring, that you, with your proposal, what do you have on ground? What idea do you have? And they need to support in terms of monitoring and other aspects that will make that idea to come to the reality. By doing that, the standard school will continue growing up every day, and it will assist the government too in the aspect of the employment, in the aspect of the economic development and other things. Because there's no way there's a school established, it is assisting the economy of that country.
Exactly.
You should know that in terms of buying the educational materials, it's assisting the government. In terms of the employment, I said the other time, it's assisting the government. So
Mm.
the turnout of the establishment in a particular country also determine the economic development of that particular country. So in that sense, we are encourage the government. We wish the government to assisting the private sector, not only asking for the tax alone. There should be
All right.
grants for us and material support in that aspect too, in terms of the books, textbooks, and others, as they used to do for the public schools, because we are also
Mm.
supporting them to achieve standard education in Africa. So not that we are against
Okay.
them. So we need to achieve it together. Not only government can do it.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. In
You're
order to
welcome.
round it up, I will end my interview with you with this question: that your advice to the youths and the
Okay.
parents.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think I said at the early stage of this program that youths must not limit themselves. They should not limit themselves on superstitions. You know, most of the superstition, they believe that you cannot do it, you can't achieve it, it's not possible. All this, I do tell my people that I don't have impossibility. I don't have it, impossibility in my dictionary. I don't have
Mm.
it because I believe once there's God, everything is possible. Once I believe in God, when I believe in me, in my dream, I believe I can succeed. I can achieve it. My suggestion and my advice for the youth is that just discover yourself. Know who you are. Know what God has put in you as a gift. There's nobody that doesn't have a gift. You have a gift. That gift, you need to discover it. After you discover it, try to develop it. If you develop your gift, you develop your talent, there's no way you are going to get there. Though you may face challenges. Don't quit because of challenges. Don't forget, a quitter never wins. Don't quit because you are facing challenges. No, you are going to succeed it by God's grace. So once you face it and determine that you are going to succeed, continue consulting the elders that have achieved in the line you want to embark on. And then we should not value money on knowledge. Don't value money on knowledge. Knowledge can earn you any amount you think of, or that you don't even think of. But today, we only run after money. Most of the people in this generation, they believe that anything is about money. It's not about money. Value is very important. Value, legacy is very important. Good name is very important. If you develop yourself, if you don't have money today, people will be bringing their money to buy your ideas, to receive your services. In fact, a lot of things they be coming. And I must tell you that you are going to succeed. And don't rely on government. You should not rely on government. Don't believe that once you get the certificate, you'll be running after the white collar job. No, don't depend on government job. There's a lot. In fact, government job cannot certify everybody. It cannot circulate. It's not possible. Government cannot provide everybody job. That is a bitter truth we need to learn. It's a bitter truth we need to know today. Government cannot provide job for everybody. Private institution like us now, we are providing job for people. You too can become an employer. You can start something, start from small thing. Today, you imagine of the number of the staff I have in my school. And I started from nothing. Today, I'm thanking God. You too are going to thank God tomorrow. Once you are prayerful and you are hardworking and you are moving, you are reading, developing yourself, and in fact, if you are investing in yourself, and the best investment is personal investment. You are investing on yourself, you are going to get there by God's grace. So that's my advice for you.
Very much. Thank you very much. We really appreciate. What of the parents? In 30
The parent too.
Parents.
Thank you. The parent too. We need to support the school, and then we should not leave the school alone to determine the future of our children. We need to let them know what we have discovered or what we are discovering from the performance of our children. Once you discover that, you need to let it be known by the school so that they collaborate with you to achieve and to assist that child to achieve that his or her goal. So it is very important. Then we have to take education as a priority, not the last priority, but the first priority. Education, I'm not talking about just education. I'm talking about functional education. We should not, after the materialistic of things that most of the parents usually engage in, let's invest on education of our child and be prayerful to God to be somebody that are going to benefit from this effort in the future. So let's support the school. And when you discover the school is having any negative things or is going to the wrong channel, you can call the school to order by your advising in a constructive manner. And you too, you have opportunity to consult those in the realms of affairs to talk to them to support the private sector. And by God's grace, with our collaboration, we are going to get there by the grace of Almighty God. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We really appreciate your efforts since we've started more than an hour ago, because as my producer was telling me that, hey, we have run out of the time.
Sorry, we are very sorry.
It's like I'm somehow biased because I'm talking to a lost friend for a while. So thank God.
Sorry, we are very sorry. Really thank you so much.
We really appreciate your efforts. We really appreciate that you accepted our invitation. Then I hope that next time we invite you, will you be at our service?
By God's grace, I will be, and I wish to be with you forever.
By God's grace, inshallah.
Inshallah, by God's grace.
So
I really appreciate you too.
Really end of our program for this week. By next week, you can still join us. So we have other programs that is being scheduled for next week program. So I remain yours, Kumo Africa. Till next week. I say you belong to Africa. I belong to Africa. Africa is my focus. I hope Africa is your focus too. Till next week, we meet again. I am Kumo Africa, live on African Portal Radio TV.
Edu-Links
Thank you so
International
much.
Concept is a registered company in Nigeria. They render services and consulting, training, PR, research, and management for schools and business institutions. Also, Isheklo, Islamic Heritage Glorious School, is a registered group of schools in Nigeria at Asamajana Falade area, Olozo, Kumani, Ibadan, State, Nigeria. Also, Edu-Links Training Center is a subsidiary of Educational Links International Concept. You can reach them on this number 30751347 or 08164031761. Worship with knowledge, a tome of wisdom, paradise of knowledge.
So what you made that? Wow, okay. Why back